Okay. Hey, what is up, everybody?
Good morning. Welcome back to It's Just Nick. So what has been going on? So, still no news or updates on the ski resort at the moment. Just kind of a lot of radio silence there. Fingers crossed that we get some answers this week. It'd be really nice. Basically, the resort finished up for the season, so they're just doing final season wrap-up, and the seller is, I guess, dealing with all that, plus it's a pretty big decision. A lot of legacy behind kind of what she's going to be leaving behind when she does sell to whoever she sells to. So, like, we get it. It's just frustrating on our side because we'd love to get a resolution on this, whether that's negotiating with us would be the ideal outcome, but yeah, we'll see how this all unfolds. So yeah, that one you're gonna have to wait a little longer, unfortunately, to get an answer on what's happening with it from us, so stay tuned. There will be an answer at some point, I'm sure. I don't know what that will be. I would like to say it's going to be that we have, basically entered into an agreement to purchase it. That would be perfect, but let's just wait and we'll find out. In other news, been loving the spring here in Squamish with the kids. Riding a lot more with them. They still aren't riding well without pedals and things like that, but they're getting there. We are working on it. We've been going to the pump tracks lots. I've been picking the kids up from school on our rad wagon. It's one of these like ultra long electric bikes. I can fit all 3 kids on the back. So that's been a blast. I think I put a short up a while ago of it with the twins on the back. But we put a cage around it. They sell these things called a caboose. Basically just stops the kids falling off the back and the side. So a lot safer for them, which is great. Because at one point we had a little bit of pushing and shoving happening on it one day when I was riding around the neighborhood with them on it. So it was definitely time we got that with that pushing and shoving, that someone was definitely going to get biffed off the back, which would suck for them. It would have been great for me because paying attention to them while riding is not something you really want to do in that sort of aspect. Like paying attention to are they pushing? Are they shoving? Are they sitting properly? Like that's a pretty hard one to monitor while riding. You can chat with them. That's easy. Turning around, looking at them every so often. One thing with these bikes is if you let go of the handlebars, because they've got a spring that kind of helps hold it towards center, you will get speed wobbles with it, regardless of the speed you are traveling at. Like, if you let go of those handlebars, they will just, wobble around at any speed. So, going no hands is not really an option on this bike unless I take off that spring. But it does make for a smoother turning with that spring, weirdly. So, we're going to keep it on for now. We don't need to go no hands on this bike. That's fine. But yeah, it's been a blast ripping around. So it can hold me. I'm at about 100 kilos, 105 kilos. So what's that? That's like 225 pounds, 230 pounds-ish. And all 3 kids on the back and all their school stuff. And we can get up any other hills with relative ease. And on the flat, it'll still kick us up to about 34 k's an hour, which is, I think, about as fast as this thing goes. It doesn't go much faster unless I'm absolutely churning on the pedals to go above and beyond what it will help us with. So, but yeah, the bike's pretty heavy because of how long it is, but it's a solid frame, just like it's a steel frame, so it is not going to do anything funny underneath us. But yeah, it's been a blast ripping around on it. Gotta be honest, like, prefer it to driving to school to pick them up. Like, easier, I don't have to get them in car seats, they love it, I have a good time, we see the outdoors. Yesterday they convinced us to go to the park afterwards when we got home and dropped their bag off. They stayed on the bike and just egged me on to go to the park, so that was great. So they just want to be outside with this thing, so yeah. So I think it's really great for them to do it. I see why lots of other parents in Squamish are doing it. Like, it makes so much sense. So yeah, that's it at the moment. Pretty straightforward there. Little bub Josie, she is settling in really well actually, but she does have these lovely 2-hour windows in the middle of the night at the moment where she's pretty gassy and all that shenanigans. So hopefully that settles down in the coming future when she can help move that gas along herself. That'll be really handy for Liv, so she gets more sleep. Liv's being an absolute legend and is letting me sleep through the night, basically, which is really nice. She doesn't have to, but she does. It's also, I'm a bit of a deep sleeper, so that really doesn't help her situation. So waking me up is also a bit of a pain in the butt. It's not always the easiest thing to do. So I see why she doesn't wake me up, because it can be a bit annoying too. It can take like 5 to 15 minutes to actually get me to stir when I'm properly passed out. So always been like that, but unfortunate for Liv, that does make getting assistance a little difficult unless I wake up naturally to the noise and ruckus. So for now, she's carrying the team on that front, like an absolute legend. I've got to be honest, I don't know how she does it. I'm impressed to no end, always. She never ceases to amaze me. But yeah, tough gig for her doing that on her own this front, but I've been trying to pick up the weight elsewhere to, in effect, make up for it, because, you know, no one wants to be the only one carrying the team, particularly when it's a big family with all the chaos that's unfolding in our little family. So, but yeah, the kids have particularly been wanting her attention lately. They want to hold Josie, but they want Mum's attention. Yeah, it's the new settling in. I think give it another few weeks and we will probably be at the tail end of that. I think they'll simmer in a bit more and we'll be back to a bit more ease in the family in terms of that. But for now, I think they're all figuring out that Mum still loves them. Mum just has to look after Josie right now, but she's still giving them lots of attention. She's not giving them attention at all, you know, all that sort of stuff. But it's it's going all right. It's going all right. We're getting passports ready at the moment, so yeah, that's good. Getting those ready to go for the trip home, because we're going to go back for my little brother's wedding, so it's going to be absolutely a blast. Really looking forward to that. Go for a couple of surfs. I think we're going to check out Oz Zoo with the kids, which will be great, because I haven't been since I left Australia 8 years ago. I can't believe it's been 8 years. I think it's 8 years tomorrow, actually. That's unreal. So, but Yeah, so it's been a while. Been overseas for a while now. So, but this morning is the run down to West Van for the run and coffee, which, if you've been to it, you know what's up. If you haven't, you gotta join us. It is just a cruisy 4.73k run to the beach house and back with coffee at the end, and it is all about the conversations. It's not about how fast you're running. It's not about running at all. The group is known to split into, sometimes we have people who running is a new and difficult thing for them. So, they run where they can, they walk otherwise, they have a great time chatting, and then there's the group of us who just kind of jog through. We stay at one pace that we can all chat at, and we just get our way through it. But it's become a bit of a staple for me and a bunch of others. But yes, what's the motto? Save for the coffee, love the chats, remember the run. I think it's something like that. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, if you've not really learned to love running, or you hate running, but you want to kind of do it just because of fitness and you need a reason, this is for you. Just getting out there, you don't have to run fast or hard. The chatting does make it easier, and even if you can't chat while running, you at least can run and just listen into the podcast of everyone else chatting. We have some really interesting people who join us on these runs every so often, and just some of the stuff you get to hear from them on the run, it really is like a podcast. So better than running with headphones sometimes. So one of the guys who joins us is Matt. He's currently over in Greece, about to, I think it is tomorrow actually. I think it is tomorrow that he kicks off his 255 kilometer run. It's a race, but there's only 30 of them who get selected to actually do this race, and he got in this year. But the wild thing is, you have a 48-hour time cap. Can you imagine running 255 kilometers in less than 48 hours? That is an unbelievable endeavor. I know there are lots of people out there in the world who can do that, but to those of us who are mere mortals, this is just insane. Because it means you can't really take breaks. You can take little breaks, but you don't get any big breaks. So, clocking off for a 12-hour sleep, you just can't do. You'll run out of time. So it's just unreal from that aspect, where the sheer fitness you have to complete this race to begin with, and the mental fortitude is second to none. You don't get to do this race by just not stopping. You have to stay on the grind the entire time. And the first section, there's a 13k section or something, where you have, I think it's an hour something to get through the first 13ks, because I think they've got you on a highway to begin with, and they've got the highway shut. But they have to open it in an hour. So you got to get through this first bit at a decent rate of knots, but considering you're running 255 kilometers. So I'm really looking forward to hearing how he goes, because he doesn't have a lot of tracking capacity while he's on there outside of his phone. Because unlike Coconino, where they've got tracking chips on them that you can follow online, which is, I think that's awesome. That's the gold standard, realistically. But this race, they don't, from what Matt said. So we don't really have the capacity to follow along like we would like to, but hopefully Matt has some capacity to update us along the way. Otherwise, we will just hear from it when he finishes and gets back into town. So, and then our good friend Jamie Lynn Horth is going to be having her 4th UFC fight on Saturday in Winnipeg. So that would be awesome. She's currently 3-0 in the UFC. So let's keep up that winning streak. I know she can do it. She's an absolute legend. And just so dedicated to her craft that I've got so much trust in her capacity to perform when it matters, and it's going to matter on Saturday, and she is just going to crush it. So if you ever had the chance to meet her outside of the octagon, she is just the nicest person around. Mind you, don't fuck with her because she'll put you down. But gem of a human. I would do whatever I can to help that woman. So, and the team she's surrounded by, is going to help her always have success. So, yeah, it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to watching that. I might head down to the local pub to watch it. They're throwing on a viewing party for it, so I might tag in with the kiddos. I think that'd be awesome to join in on the chaos there, but we'll see. Otherwise, we might just watch it from home. See what the wife thinks about dragging the kids down to watch the UFC. But for now, though, we're about halfway through the trip down to West Van. Traffic is low. Moving smoothly, actually. And then, that's kind of it at the moment. Apex, we're working on branding. So if you haven't listened to the previous videos on this, the behind the scenes of me for this year, I am starting up a production-based company with a product-based company. After the failure of our sports recovery business, where we ran into some regulatory issues with updating of codes, and then we got brought underneath it. Basically, the governing body, which is the health authority, basically wouldn't work with us, to the point they just stopped replying to us. It was a really terrible experience, and I've heard they've done it to many, many others, so I definitely would hope that no one else has to go through it, but unfortunately I think there are going to be many other people who are going to crash and burn under this organization's management, which is really disappointing because it just kills the local economy. But anyway, moving on from that, so I learned a lot of tough lessons with that, but it also taught me a lot of things that I would want to do different and what I don't want to have to experience again. So basically, there's a lot of sports and activities I do, a lot of things that I like, and with the Cove, our sports recovery business, we were kind of leading the charge, at least in Vancouver anyway, for what we were offering. So we were doing a lot of education, teaching clients what we were and why they needed us to begin with, because we were new. We were the only ones in Vancouver doing what we were doing and why we were doing it. And not even just we're slightly different to anyone else. There was no one else doing what we were doing and why. remotely close. The closest thing was spas. So this time I don't want to be teaching anyone of why they need what I am offering. So we are going to enter into an established market or markets with things that people already use, things I use, and products that I would like to see done differently, that if I have around my house, that my kids, my dogs, I don't have to stress about them touching it, or in most cases trying to eat it or having it on their hands when they are eating things. Like, I don't want to stress about that. So we are going to make them. We're going to make them in Squamish. We're not getting them imported in from overseas or anything of that nature. They are going to be made here in Canada by me. And we are going to get out a range of products that I use, friends use, that will be different, that you can trust are going to be good for you, good for your kids, good for your dogs if they, touch them, use them, eat them, any of the dumb stuff, which, and then even for us, if we're touching them, then we don't have to stress about them doing anything to us, which will be great. It'll be great for our equipment, great for ours, because some of it's for us, some of it's for our equipment that we use for different activities like skiing or biking, things like that. So we're getting into that, and we're just getting into some branding, and then we're going to look into the packaging aspect of it, because we have, I would like to say, probably about 75% of the products ready to rumble. So we have 4 of the 5 series or ranges ready to go. We got one that won't be ready to go for quite some time. That's coming down to more of a sourcing issue for equipment to manufacture it here in Squamish. It's not a big thing, but it's just a very unique piece of equipment that I need. And what's on the market readily available is just the wrong specs for what I need of it. So that's going to take me a while, but I don't have to do it, which is great, because my overheads are not massive, which was one of the big things for me, was to reduce my overheads. Obviously with like the Cove, we had service base, we had a brick and mortar facility, I had staff, I had all these costs. So at least for now, while we start, we're trying to do it with that kind of bootstrap mentality of reduced overheads. Not in a way that's going to affect quality or anything of that nature, but just to make it so that if I take a holiday, if sales don't go well, any of that, we're not just trying to sell to stay afloat. We are selling to grow, which is fabulous. So I could sell super slow, and I can do it the right way, and I'm not pressured, I'm not going to compromise, so you guys will get the right products that you want, the right quality, you get the right look. So we're going to get the branding done properly, we're going to get the packaging done properly, so when you see it on the shelves or you order it online, you're going to love it. You're going to look at it and go, ooh, yes, I can get behind this brand. And that's really important to me, is I want you to visually be able to go and show your friends and be like, this is what I use, and for them to like what they see, not just because of what it is, but just from like a branding aspect that it resonates with you guys. It's clean, it's crisp. It just works for what we're doing, where what we're going to be selling to you guys it is not the leader of what you're doing. It's the supporting act. It helps you do what you do best, do what you love, and it's going to be the thing that helps you do it. It's not going to be why you succeed. It's just going to make sure that you can do it the way you want to. And I think that's really important, where what we're selling is conducive of that. I don't want you to feel like you have to have it so that you need it to succeed. But you need it so you can be supported to do what you want to do the way you want to. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've got some emails today, maybe some video calls over the next week with that. So that's exciting. I need to work on different packaging now in terms of just some like unbranded, clean cut stuff to just work out, okay, is this going to be the right size? Is this going to be the right fit for what we're selling? Just to match like the actual products themselves, so that when we get to the packaging aspect, we are ready to just say to our people, this is what we're going to use. Can you help us get the packaging right for this? And then any feedback and advice they give us at that point. So yeah, so that's it for now. I'm super keen for that. Been working on getting into gym a bit more, getting a ton of feedback on my bench press videos, which has been great. So I'm looking forward to learning more on those. But a little background, I at one point was a high-level decathlete, so I've spent some time in the gym over the years, but just some very rudimentary stuff. I had personal trainers that helped us, do what we needed to do to really improve our performance on the track and in the field. But then also I had a few years where I had a friend programming for me while I was doing some CrossFit stuff. Well, I kind of got into CrossFit after transitioning out of athletics. Now we're kind of back into it, but training has been super inconsistent due to just life. No real explanation. There's always a reason why I haven't gone to the gym. Good reasons, bad reasons, That's the usual shenanigans on that front there. We've all been there. Unfortunately, I am right there now, trying to build that habit to be more consistent in my attendance at the gym and my training, my running, my cycling, the whole thing. I always seem to have an excuse not to, and I just need to be better mentally at not letting that stop me from doing what I know I should do. I know it's good for me to do it and to show the kids an example, but also to look after myself so that I can look after others. So yeah, we're working on that. I'm really appreciative of anyone who's given me advice. Absolutely throw your 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents at me of advice. I will take it on board, because at the moment I'm nobody. So you can certainly help me be better at any of it, and I will be grateful, because even in track and field, you were always learning something. My buddies who've, gone to the Olympics were still learning. So I'm taking that same attitude into everything else, because there's always space to learn something new, even if it's from a different aspect or a different perspective. So yeah, keep it up, guys. And I'm gonna, hopefully, with the lovely weather today, we'll have a good run. But I will talk to you all next time.